Hello and welcome to the Glowing Skin series. I'm Christine Ho. Today I have Cherie Calbom. She's known as the Juice Lady and America's trusted nutritionist. So welcome and thank you so much for being here.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me. I love talking about juice and health, my favorite subject.
Yes, of course. So yeah, please tell us more about your own personal story and how you got into juicing.
Years ago, in my 20s, I developed chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia, and it was a case so bad that I had to quit work and move back home with my father and stepmother and sleep about 12 hours a day
Oh,
and
wow.
wake up feeling tired and sick. And I had swollen glands and kind of a feverish feeling all the time. I felt like I had the flu and I ached all over. It was just a horrible existence. I never felt good. There was never a day where I felt good. And so I went to a lot of doctors and kept asking questions, and nobody knew what to do and nobody had any answers. So that's when I decided I'm going to go to a health food store, a few of them, and talk to people there. And I did get some answers from them. I found out my diet was horrible. It was all wrong. I love junk food, fast food. I didn't like vegetables. I didn't eat much fresh produce. And I knew I had to make a big change according to them. And it made sense to me what they were saying, and it was the only answer anybody had given me. So I decided I was going to get my first juicer, and I was going to give juice fasting a try because I'd heard about that and how beneficial it could be. And I did my first 5-day juice fast. And on the 5th day, my body expelled a tumor the size of a golf ball with
Oh,
blue
wow.
vessels attached to it. I was absolutely flabbergasted. I thought, what just happened? But I was really pleasantly surprised that my juice fast was having that much effect in that short a time. So I thought, maybe tomorrow I'll be well, I wasn't. What my body was doing was detoxing. So I had some good days and some not so good days as all of this toxic stuff that had been building up in my body for years from a bad lifestyle of eating. I loved sweets. I was a sugaraholic. I loved fast food. So burgers and fries, tacos, all of the fast food fare was my standard diet, and granola and sweets and once in a while a salad. That was about it. So I did a complete about face. Now, after that 5-day juice fast, I kept juicing. And I added in a lot of vegan foods. I'm not vegan today, but I went vegan for that period of time. So lots of steamed vegetables, soups, stews, stir fries, salads, some brown rice, and that was pretty much my diet. And excuse me, juice. So I stuck with that in little intervals of short juice fasts. One day, 3 months into my program, I woke up and thought, wow, somebody gave me a new body in the middle of the night. Excuse me, I felt energized. I felt like jogging. I hadn't felt that in years. And I looked like a new person. My skin had new color. It was glowing. I'd lost some weight. I wasn't overweight, but I lost maybe about 10 pounds, I would say. And I looked just brand new and felt brand new. And I called that a cure.
Oh.
Wrong concept. Because a cure is something you do until you're done with it and you're better, and then you go on to do your thing. And so slowly I started introducing my old foods and my old lifestyle back, and I started feeling those symptoms returning, and it scared the living daylights out of me, because once you taste health, you never want to lose it. When you've been on the other side of the fence and now you've got that wonderful feeling of vibrant health. I always used to wonder what the word well-being meant. I had no idea until I experienced it. And when you experience well-being, you do not ever want to lose it. And I realized then, the lights went on, this isn't a cure. Yeah, I'm well, this has got to be a lifestyle. I've got to live this way for the rest of my life. So I had a lot of steps forward and steps back as I learned to find my stride through life and how do I live life with parties and celebrations and all the things that go on in our everyday life and the people that we interact with. And how do I make my way in the world? And I found it is definitely possible. I do it. I live my lifestyle and I find things to eat. Wherever I go, I find something that I can eat. And so it's my word of encouragement to everybody else. You can do it. And when you do, and when you stick with a program like I've designed, you will notice wonderful positive changes from the inside out. Your skin to your internal organs, everything's going to benefit.
Okay, yeah, that sounds amazing, actually, how much it affected your skin too.
I'd never had really skin problems, an occasional breakout like probably everybody does, but I'd never had real skin problems. However, I noticed an amazing thing. I got new color and new glow that I hadn't had before, and just a shine to my face, and my face still has, after all these years, it's still got some shine and some glow to it. Here's what's going on and why that happened. There are substances in raw fruits and vegetables called biophotons. It's not completely new, but a fairly new frontier of research on photons, which are the light rays of energy that the plants absorb from the sun. It goes into their cells, and when we eat them, we unlock that energy called biophotons. Biophotons are light. They come from the sun, they're absorbed into our plants, and they are light. If you look at Kirlian photography, it's a special photography to capture light rays coming out from live foods, we would call them raw foods or live foods. You see glow around like a raw apple or a banana or broccoli, something that's not cooked, and beautiful light rays of energy. Some of them are colors, different colors coming out of them. Some are like white light, but it's the energy, the biophotons, the light from the sun, the light rays absorbed into that plant. When you cook that plant, not that I'm against some steamed vegetables, but you lose your biophotons. That's why it's so important to have some raw in your diet every day. And that's where juicing comes in, because so many of us are so busy. We're just racing here and there and out the door early. And so we can make it a lifestyle to get juice into our diet each day and get that raw food. And so that's when people start glowing. And they've even done Kirlian photography on people that eat a lot of raw foods. And they too have light rays coming from them. That people that are on more what we call a dead food diet, it's all cooked, a lot of processed stuff, they don't have that kind of light. And you look at a lot of people today, just go through the grocery store, they don't have light to their skin. You look at people and there's no glow. They look either kind of grayish, kind of sallow. Their skin doesn't glow. So it's so worth it. If nothing else, a lot of people say to me, I don't really care about how healthy I am or what's happening with my organs. I'm not concerned about my liver or my heart right now. I'm doing okay. But they are concerned about their skin and how they look and how vibrant their skin is and clear and so forth. So that's where diet plays a huge part. And actually, if you're doing enough so that your skin is glowing and your hair is shining and your nails are growing, your internal organs are going to look even better. So it's a great way to hook a lot of us into maybe something we wouldn't do if it wasn't for the fact that we know we're going to look better if we do this.
Oh yes, that sounds really amazing. Yeah, I think that's kind of funny that, yeah, it is true. Everything is connected. All of our skin is connected to everything that's inside of us, and what we put inside of our bodies is just as important as what we put on our bodies in order to help with our skincare.
Absolutely. So many people are lathering this stuff all over their skin and wondering why they aren't seeing much difference. And it is important what we put on our skin, of course, it helps. but it is not the major factor. The major factor is what we're putting internally. I call it from the inside out. We're changing things completely. Our skin is our largest organ of elimination. And if the other organs are kind of worn out, congested, toxic, too much to deal with, from our society today, there's just so much, from the junk food and the fast food and all of the bad things we eat to environmental toxins, and on it goes. And so our poor bodies are trying to get rid of all of that, and it just often can't accomplish the job very well. In the end, it's overwhelmed, so it's going to show up in our skin because it is our largest organ of elimination. And so that's where people see things like rosacea, acne, eczema, psoriasis, blotches on their skin, rashes, all sorts of things are going to show up. Of course they are, because the skin is trying to help the body get rid of all this toxic stuff, because the goal is to keep us alive. The body's goal isn't to make you look great. It's to keep you alive. And so it's going to do whatever it can to get rid of all of this stuff. So if we want to look our best, we've got to really treat our body well from the inside out.
Oh, yes, definitely, of course.
I have many programs and different things to help people, especially detox. I have detox kits and a variety of programs to help people detox. And it's just very exciting. I have a program too, a 5-day juice fast. And I just want to share with you a story that I just came in today. I love testimonials. I love when people tell me the wonderful things that have happened for them by doing some of these programs. And this lady had done a 5-day juice fast. That's one of my shorter programs. And she said prior to that, she had been developing this double chin. And I don't know how many days she actually juice fasted. So she didn't say exactly, but she got rid of her double chin. It just left and it's never come back.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know. I thought, how exciting, very exciting. So you never know what's going to happen for you. And I've had several young women say they got rid of cellulite on the program, on the detox program. Cellulite, that lumpy, bumpy kind of orange peel looking skin, pitted skin, or it looks like a golf ball, some people say. And it's a trap of toxins and water and fat cells. And when you start detoxing your body, that flushes away. And I've had several women say in the middle of their 30-day detox, all their cellulite was gone, or most of it was gone. It's very
that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are you actually most proud of from 2017?
Last year, I launched a new program, What to Eat and Juice When You Have Cancer. So many people had said to me, what do I juice when I have cancer? And so I decided to put together a 4-week series, and it has helped already so many, many people, because no matter what kind of treatments people choose to do for any type of cancer, diet is so important. We must address that aspect. It's an integral part of our healing process. And people just didn't know what to do. What do I eat? It's so conflicting out there. Eat this, don't eat that. A lot of people in the mainstream medical professions say just eat anything just to get food down, and that's not right. We should not be eating sugar at all, because cancer cells love sugar. They feed off of it, they thrive on it. So we should have no sugar in the diet and lots of vegetables, and certain vegetables really help fight cancer, and people just didn't know what that was or what to choose. So I am most proud of that program. And one woman even told me, of all things, her oncologist told her she needed to start juicing if she was going to get enough nutrition in her body for healing. So that was pretty amazing. That was a first for me. I haven't heard that too often. So I have a whole program laid out for how to get that juice going and get it into our bodies. And I get a question a lot about what do I do if I can't juice every morning? Like a lot of people, whether you have cancer or not, whether you're sick or not, you may be running off to work and busy. And how do you do this? How do you make it a lifestyle? So there's some people who juice the night before and store it like in a glass jar, tight lid in the fridge, and that's fine to store it overnight. That's how I got well, making all my juice at one time when I had the most energy, and then drink it for about 24 hours. And I drank a lot of juice, about 2 quarts of juice a day then. So people that do that, and there are people also, like people that are not feeling well and don't have a lot of energy, maybe they get help on the weekend. You can make a huge batch of freeze juice in little individual glass jars, those little canning jars you can get at hardware stores, and freeze a whole bunch of them, and then just pull a couple jars out in the morning, and you're good to go. So you can make it work.
Yeah, actually that's kind of amazing, because I've actually heard from other people who have done juicing before that, if you actually, make the juice ahead of time, like too much of a long period, it tends to lose its value over time.
It's true, you do lose some nutrients, but there isn't like this magic drop off point where it's all gone. And that's what really bothers me, that some people are told after about 30 minutes, it's no good. And that's not right at all. If you heated your juice, if you let it sit out just in the air, not covered, not refrigerated, of course it's going to lose a lot more. But if you treat it well, and you put it in a glass jar in the refrigerator so it doesn't have the light, doesn't have the heat, oxygen's not destroying it, it's going to last a lot longer. And yes, there's a gradual little decline, but it's still, even after 24 hours, going to give you probably more nutrients than just about anything else on earth you could drink. And that's how I got well, because I was too sick to just make a fresh glass of juice every time I knew I should drink some. And I got well doing that. So I know there was still plenty of nutrition left in stored juice.
Oh, that's great. Yes, and I've actually heard from other people who have, done juicing before, that about how expensive it is. They're still hungry after, drinking juice and everything.
Well, I have added it all up. A glass of juice isn't very expensive. It depends on the time of year. If you've gotten some good sales or farmers markets, it may be 2 something to 3 something a glass, big glass, like about 10 ounces. Sometimes it can be less. It just depends on, did you get a whole bunch of cucumbers or zucchini in the summer for next to nothing, at your farmer's market. But when I compare that to a latte, people think nothing of spending $4 or $5 on a latte, or a high 3 for just kind of a plain latte. Just nothing, spending money on that. This is giving your body life. And if you're hungry, well, do what I did. I did a juice fast for a few days. And yeah, I was hungry then, but I had a goal. I was clearing out some toxic junk. But after that, I started adding in food and juicing. So I did both. And that's how I live my life most days. Now, today, actually, I'm doing a modified juice fast. My adrenals are a little stressed out. So I know right now I need protein. So I'm doing little bits of protein, lots of juice, and I'm calling this my juice fast day. I'm doing what I need to do for my body so that it can make it through these 2 days with juicing. And I did a smoothie as well with almond milk this morning after I got back from the gym and back from working out. So you can make it work and not starve. And if you want to do a cleansing juice fast for 2 or 3 days, yeah, you will be hungry. There's no doubt about it. You just kind of have to tough it out through that time, but you get amazing results from doing a short juice fast. And then after that, make juicing your lifestyle and add in foods. You can be vegan or you don't have to be vegan. I'm not vegan now. And so I have a little bit of good animal protein, clean, grass-fed, organic, grown, and lots of vegetables, steamed, and salads, and soups and stews. And even if I make chili, I put lots of vegetables in it, which I made some of that last night.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Oh, sorry.
I said, no starving here.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yes.
Yes, but what would you actually say is a good combination between like juicing and, eating? So how much would you say you should juice and how much you should say you should eat for the, regular person who wants to start to get into it?
If you are not sick, there's nothing wrong with you. You just want to have better health and more stamina, maybe more energy, then 1 to 2 glasses, big glasses, like 10 or 12 ounces a day is great. If you're trying to overcome something, um, any kind of ailment, and you want the vegetables that are really going to give your system a boost, 1 to 2 quarts a day. For the people in my cancer program, 2 quarts a day is what I recommend of vegetable juices, and using a little lemon or lime to flavor, no fruit juice for them. So it just depends on your goals. And then around that, you add in your good, wholesome foods. So it just depends, as I said, on your goal. And then if you're doing cleansing program, of course, you want more juice. You want 3 to 4 big glasses of juice a day if you're doing a juice fast, a short juice fast, or even a modified one like I'm doing right now.
Okay, well, that sounds actually pretty neat. I was also very curious, like, what would you say is the difference between, having a juice versus having a smoothie, the nutrition value and what's recommended with each of them?
They're both different. They're both great. And I say for a healthy kitchen, have both a blender. I like a good blender. I have a Vitamix and a juicer. So the difference is that one has everything contained in the container, whether that's your Vitamix or your NutriBullet or some other kind of blended thing where everything's in that one container. A juicer separates the fiber from the juice. So the juice pours out one way and the fiber ejects another. Both have their place and both have an importance. Why do you want a juice? You do get nutrition by a blended drink, a smoothie. Of course you do. You can't get nearly as much in a smoothie as you can a juice because it's just going to fill up your container and you're going to have fiber in there and all of these things are going to be in there. Where with a juice, you can get a lot of produce. But here's what one doctor said to me that I thought was brilliant. Juicing is for your cells, it's cellular, and it's like a vitamin, mineral, enzyme, biophoton infusion going right into your cells. And you don't get that from a blended. You get some, you get nutrition, but there is nothing like juice getting right into your cells, that marvelous nutrition. It's already all separated. So your body doesn't have to do anything to break it down. I do both. I make smoothies and I do juicing. And they both have their place. Think about a smoothie. It's got your fiber in it. It's great for your colon. And of course, you're getting nutrients from it. Juice going right into your cells. Like an intravenous infusion of nutrients at the cellular level.
Oh, well, that's amazing because I always thought fiber was good for you.
It is. And you want fiber. And you want to eat a high fiber diet and you want to juice around that. You want both. So I say always do both, except, the exception would be juice fast days where you're just really focusing on cleansing your body. And then don't worry so much about the fiber with your vegetable juices on those days. But you can take extra fiber at night or even several times a day if you want. I have a program with what's called a toxin absorber. It has bentonite clay and fiber that you shake up in a jar of water or juice, and you take that 3 or 4 times a day in addition to your juicing. And that's wonderful too.
Okay, yeah, that's great. So what would you say is a very good juice combination recipe for someone who's just starting out for like the first time, who's not like a juicing, maybe
Yeah.
at the time?
So you want it to taste good.
Oh, yes.
If it doesn't taste good, you'll probably say this isn't for me. And I've had lots of people who thought they were just going to jump in and didn't need a recipe and just go for it. And then said, oh man, that was really bad. And I don't think juicing's for me. Usually they put in too much ginger or they get too many greens and not a good tasting base. So what you want to do is start with something that's going to taste good. And I think carrot apple is a delicious base to which you can add many other things. Start off with a small amount of ginger, not a giant root. Don't juice the whole thing. I mean, it would probably just totally overwhelm you. And I've had many people that have overwhelmed their taste buds. So start off with about an inch, little inch chunk of ginger. Ginger is excellent. It's an anti-inflammatory. It's rich in zinc. It's anti-nausea, and almost antibacterial and antiviral properties. So excellent to include ginger, especially at this time of year, to get more ginger in your diet, but start small. And then add a little bit of greens and work your way into it till you develop more of a taste for things. So maybe a small handful of spinach, or maybe one leaf of kale, or a leaf of chard, like rainbow chard or white chard, something like that. Maybe one rib of celery, maybe half a cucumber. And I'm just naming things that I have it all in mine. I'm so used to that. And I don't put apple in mine. I put lemon, because I have to keep my sugars low. But if you don't have to keep your sugars as low as I do, you could have half an apple to a whole apple in there. And you might want a little splash of lemon because it freshens everything up. So another nice base is lemonade base. And that is 1 to 2 apples and about half a lemon. It's absolutely delicious. You can make green lemonade, red lemonade with beets, orange lemonade with carrots. You can just really get wild and happy and add a lot of things. But go, if you've never juiced before, go at it kind of slow with adding new things in and try it and make sure you like it. And then you can try a little more. Pretty soon you'll be used to all the great flavors, you know, the greens and the celery and the cucumber, and you'll be on your way to being an official juicer.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Although that's got to be really hard to not add some fruit in there just because it'll taste good with it.
Well, you can add your apple, and that mixes well with the carrot. Berries are a low sugar fruit. Pear does pretty well too, and it's not really too high in sugars. So that's another one you could add in.
Oh, that's great. And so what would you say is your own personal favorite juice recipe that you like?
I do it all the time. So I start with a big English cucumber, because you get a lot of juice out of one of those long cucumbers. And to that I add a carrot or two, a lemon, and I do a whole lemon and I peel it. And I love ginger, so I add in about a 2 to 3 inch chunk of ginger for my husband and I. Now I'm talking about, and a couple of ribs of celery and green leaves. And right now I've got a whole bunch of beet tops, because beets are very cleansing for the liver, and that's what I'm focusing on this week. So I'm doing more beets, and I've got beautiful greens that were the tops of these beets. So I'm adding some of those in each day. And I've been on kind of a broccoli kick. So I'm saving the stems, those hard stems that very few people ever try to eat. I juice them. So I put in a broccoli stem with almost every juice I'm making right now. And it tastes wonderful.
Oh, yeah, that's great, because that is true. Broccoli stems do have a very high amount of fiber in them, and many times people can't eat those.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so tell us more about your free gift that you are offering for the viewers.
So we're offering the cellulite cure. And I know firsthand about that. And so many people that have been part of my programs have said, wow, I got rid of it. So it's an ebook, and I hope you'll get it. I hope you'll go for that free gift. And there really is hope. Let me tell you, you can get rid of cellulite. And I haven't found it's through the creams and the packs and all that stuff that people sell at very high prices. Lots of money you can spend on trying to get rid of it. If you go at it from the inside out, there's where your real chance of getting rid of it lies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is very good to know. And it'll be definitely very useful for so many people, I believe, out there.
Yes.
Especially, getting rid of fat so easily is always a good thing, right?
It's a good thing, absolutely. Yes, and we don't want those pockets of fat where it stores up and really doesn't look good. So we want to get rid of that and the toxins that hold it there in place. And then we'll feel better too. All over, we'll start feeling better.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, can you tell us about like how much of a difference it's shown for you?
Oh, what a difference it's made in my skin. I can tell you, years ago, my skin did not have the glow that it has today. So it's made a very big difference. And when I changed my diet, my skin doesn't break out at all anymore. I don't get anything like that. So I can always depend on it now to look normal and to look healthy. And when I take good care of it, when I juice, it keeps glowing. I've noticed though, there are times where I've gone on vacation and I've been in a place where I couldn't get juice for maybe a week, and it doesn't have quite the glow that it did, before I went. But it comes back very quickly. Your body says thank you for all those great nutrients. They all go to work and your skin reflects. And here's something I just want to say. Our skin, our hair, and our nails are the last to really get the good effects of the nutrition, because again, it's the body's goal to keep us alive. And so if we get the overflow extra that the body doesn't have to have for all the organs, then it's going to show up on our skin, our hair, our nails. Our nails are going to grow, they're going to get stronger, our hair is going to get shinier and stronger so it doesn't break off as easily, and our skin is going to improve in its texture, its coloring, and its glow, and skin problems will clear up eventually.
Okay, that's amazing and so great, actually.